and welcome to This Week in Dearborn. We have a very special show today. We're going to be talking about one of the annual premier events in Dearborn, which is our Dearborn Homecoming, which started in 1979. And as everything, it evolves and changes, and so that's what we're here to talk about. I'm here with EmmaJean Woodyard, who's with the Dearborn Community Fund, and she's a guest along with Eric Peterson from our own recreation department. And we're going to be talking about what you can expect at homecoming, what's coming up, what's new, what's changed. So this should be a show you're going to want to watch because this is a homecoming you're definitely going to want to attend. Well, EmmaJean, again, with the Dearborn Community Fund playing the administrative role for the homecoming, the changes really shouldn't be too obvious to the person coming to the event in that regard, but it does signal a different way of us sustaining homecoming, right?
Yeah, I think that's very important. The Community Fund works on behalf of the community and especially is very anxious to support nonprofits. And of course, homecoming's all about nonprofits and what they do for our community. So we have taken on the role of, like a fiduciary fundraiser. We go after the sponsorships and the people who are going to support homecoming so we can make it happen.
Right, and that's important because people don't realize the city of Dearborn has never made a nickel on homecoming, so there's never been an income from it, but it's been quite an expense at times. Sometimes the city was subsidizing it over $100,000 more, $200,000 at times. So the city had been in that role. It can't be in that role anymore. We can't afford to put, general tax dollars into homecoming directly. So this new model helps that. But the beneficiaries from homecoming have always been nonprofit community partners who raise money at homecoming and then spend it in the community helping people in need or helping special projects. And that's where now you're going to be the person who will be working with them and helping them get the money. And
we're working real hard to make it a pleasant experience for them. They get down there, they're down there for days and days and days, selling the hot dogs or the cold beer or whatever it is that you enjoy when you go to homecoming. And every one of them has a worthy cause that they're supporting. And when you look at it, there's over 25 nonprofit organizations, and they man the food booths, the civic tent booths. A lot of the games that go on down there are supported by the nonprofits. And when you look at all the things that they turn around and do with the money that they earn, I keep trying to come up with a slogan that we can use for homecoming. Have a good time, support a good cause.
Right.
When you go down there, a lot of people, when you remind them that in addition to the fun and the music and the fabulous fireworks and everything, they're actually helping put back into the community. You can see the light bulb going on. It makes a big difference.
And we're going to be delivering numbers that show just how much that is. And it's a really substantial amount that helps some of our nonprofit partners. Their biggest fundraiser of the year is their homecoming. And so that's real important. And then, of course, the partnership with the Recreation Department continues. Eric is here. And, of course, the Recreation Department is going to continue to support homecoming. You want to talk a little bit about that role?
Sure. The Recreation Department has always fulfilled the role of all the logistics for the festival. So the hiring of the entertainment, the contracts with all our different vendors from staging to sound to the carnival and so forth. And then, right down to marking out the field and overseeing all the activities. I'm the field director along with Mary Landros from Department of Public Information helps out tremendously. And it's a good partnership. I think it's important to mention, as you were saying, how the Community Fund is now playing the fiduciary role. Last year, we actually saw revenues over expenditures, leaving a fund balance, I believe, of approximately $30,000 to start for this year. Right. So that's a real positive message.
And that's with no general fund contribution.
Exactly.
So again, this model has, we telling people we're changing the way we do business because we have to change it based on the economy, what kind of revenue we have. But it doesn't mean we have to lose any value if we can do it right. And I think this is a great example. So we'll talk about, well, first of all, one of the things we want to make parents aware of right away, because they have to do it before homecoming starts, is the banding. Because we offer the best deal on carnival rides in the area. And we know that because the vendor who does most of the other ones says, you guys are way below the market. Talk about that.
All right, this year, our carnival, we have 28 exciting rides, and we're very pleased to announce that we're bringing the water flume ride back, which was one that we had 4 years ago. It was so popular. It's kind of like your Cedar Point, traditional waterlog ride, and the way the weather's been, I think everybody's just going to absolutely love it. I've also requested that the giant Ferris wheel come back. And then, of course, we're going to have all the traditional rides, tilt-a-whirl and bumper cars and what have you. But in regards to the wristband pricing is remaining the same as prices from last year. For a half day, it's $13, and that's from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Full day wristband price is $18. That's 11 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. And then there's a Guardian rate of $8,
Right.
Our companion
Companion
rate. Now, as the mayor was saying, the best deal in town is to go online and purchase those. You can purchase those now up until August 2nd at 11:59 p.m.
Almost midnight of the day we
Yes.
open. So everybody has to know, if you don't get in that Thursday night, you're in trouble.
Right. So
I mean, not in trouble, you're just going to pay more. But
you're going to pay more.
The deal is unbelievable.
It's $12 plus a $1 service
and that's
fee.
an all-day band, $12.
Right. So you're basically paying for the half-day band price to get the full day.
Yeah.
So you really should take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And to go online, the website, you can go on cityofdearborn.org, and there will be a homecoming link, and then you go to the carnival link.
And again, that's a great deal. And the companion one is really nice because parents that want to go on the ride used to have to pay to go on the ride full price and so on. Correct. Now, parent or guardian or special need person, they can go on at a discounted rate. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the new things then, because we used to have a whole art. We used to have a big program where we had artists and so on and crafters at one point in time at homecoming, and then really we found out we were competing with all these other places.
Right.
The Allen Park Art Fair,
exactly.
Of course, is always that same weekend, and now I just saw there was another local one, a big one that's somewhere the same weekend. I thought, oh my, But we have an art area now. Let's who wants to take
I'll
that
actually
one?
let EmmaJean talk
I
about
can talk about that.
All right.
The art area is going to be located just south of the bridge, south of the river. It'll be easy to spot. First of all, WHFR radio from Henry Ford Community College is always located there. So if you see their banners, you'll be right near the art area. We have the DIA, the Detroit Institute of Arts, will be there Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 6. They will be doing projects that are family-oriented, kid-oriented, giving out information about the inside-out art that we have all around town that's from the DIA. The Henry Ford Community College Art Department will be there with the Potter's Wheel doing things right on site. They will also have some of their wonderful pottery for sale. We have a tattoo artist, that is the temporary tattoos, that will be there. She was very popular last year.
Well, we have just a 4-hour opportunity with Going Green. And Going Green has been a partner with the city. We're working on a lot of initiatives to reduce our carbon footprint and so on. And so somebody want to talk about Going Green?
That. One of the major changes that people notice, you already brought up about the arts and crafts show and competing events and so forth. And currently, the Dearborn Historical Museum and Guild are going through some staff restructuring and so forth. So they're going to take a recess from this year's event, and I expect to see them back in 2013. But an event that we've added this year is the Going Green Foundation Alternatives for Daily Living.
And see, they can edit that out, so say it again.
Okay, one of the event that's going to replace the Living History Hill encampment is the Going Green Foundation Green Alternatives for Daily Living. And that's going to feature a number of environmental clubs, businesses, and organizations, actually over 20 of them in the Dearborn area. And they're going to demonstrate and showcase environmentally friendly products and services. And that's going to be on Saturday, August 4th from 1 to 4 p.m.
Great.
So we're excited to have that.
Should add up, if I could, at that point, that one of the things that's going to happen this year is the beer vendors are all purchasing compostable 16-ounce beer cups.
Yes, right, definitely.
So it took a bit of explaining and rationalizing, but they are going to go ahead with it. Is the first step towards making this event more sustainable on all levels.
we talked about it a couple of years ago, and the issue then was that the cost of the cups that were compostable was adding too much cost to the beer and other beverages, and therefore it was going to not allow them to make as much money for their charities. And so I think now that's been worked through.
Yes, one of our sponsors, Green Safe Products, has agreed to sell the cups at the same pricing we were getting for our traditional cups.
So now we get compostable cups with the same price. You can't beat that.
No.
Not at all.
And let's say that sponsor is whom?
Green Safe Products.
Green Safe Products. Well, we're very happy about that because that's been a goal we've had, is to try and recycle those things. It's just a shame to see that all go into a landfill or whatever. Right. And then, of course, we're not going to have Elderfest this year.
No.
We're going to have it. It just won't be at the site. It will be a separate event in September, middle September, because really the heat. We just with our more mature seniors, they were just feeling like they wanted to be part of it, and it was really kind of everybody was so busy setting up, doing all these things, that it really didn't get the kind of attention it deserved, I think, in many ways.
Right.
So now we're going to have the separate event. I think it's September.
It's Friday, September 14th.
14th. So September 14th and Friday, and it'll be at
Ford Field Park. It's going to be in the North Picnic Shelter.
And I think it's really important that the Senior Commission was fully behind this idea. It was almost like, yes, we're ready for it.
But just as that happened, the Chamber of Commerce approached us with another idea.
Yep.
And I found it immediately when they called me. They said, some other places have begun to offer a kind of prequel to an event that has rides and different things for special needs children.
Right.
And it was like, whoa, yeah, that sounds great. Never thought of it. So that's going to happen, right?
It is.
It's called our Special All-Stars Day. And it's going to take place on Friday, August 3rd from 9 to noon. And there's going to be all sorts of activities, arts and crafts, a dance party, snacks, games, and those are going to be conducted in the tennis courts.
Yep.
But partnering with us on this is Wade Shows, as you mentioned, and they're going to offer 10 of our 28 rides to our special needs population free of charge from 9 to 11.
Right.
And this is something that Wade Shows does all over the country. I guess in our area, the Cherry Festival.
Yeah, Traverse City does it.
Traverse City,
They're well
and
known.
it's a real feel-good program. I do want to mention that pre-registration is required for that. The deadline is Tuesday, July 31st, and you can go and register on www.dearbornchamber.org.
Okay, so very good. So those are some of the things. Now we have to talk about the entertainment, of course, because we have lots of entertainment. Oh, and speaking of the chamber, though, the first kickoff in the evening on Friday will be the car cruise.
Right.
And that was a big one last year.
Last year was huge.
Right, just over 150 cars. It always takes place on the Friday evening, so this year it'll be Friday, August 3rd, and they register and get organized over by the Dearborn Police Station right around 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, the cruise begins, and they proceed down Michigan Avenue to Outer Drive to Cherry Hill, and then into the park. And they hit the park around 7:30 p.m., and then we line them up, and they're there until 10 o'clock. So it's a great opportunity to come see over 150 different
cars. And they're neat because some are fully restored, some are modified, custom, and so it's really nice. And then they park down there. So the thing is, on Friday night, you can come and stroll, look at all the cars, talk to the owners. It's really nice. They're very proud of the work they've done, and so they're always happy to talk with you about it and show the kids things. So the children really enjoy it too. And then that night, our entertainment is pretty powerful.
Our headline entertainment, we're calling Friday night our Dearborn Blues Blast. And we're starting actually on Stage B at 6 o'clock with a 10-piece horn band called Dr. Pocket. And they've performed for us for the Music Under the Stars program. The leader of that group, Craig Strain, also oversees the Motor City Brass Band, which is a very well-known group. After that, starting at 8 o'clock, we have Laith Al-Sadi, who has been with the festival for many years, performing in the food court. He was just presented an award for being Detroit's best rhythm and blues guitarist, based out of the Ann Arbor area. He's just a phenomenal player. He'll be playing from 8 to 8:50, followed by Thornetta Davis, who has been with us many times, and as everyone
Great
knows,
show.
she's
Oh,
the queen of, not the queen of soul,
Oh,
because we know who that
no,
is.
no.
So she's the
Right.
queen of rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
And she's going to perform to about 8 or 9:45, and then they're both going to come together and combine.
Wow.
But
It's
something
going to be a
we-
late night.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. But something we've just added is the motor. They're called the Motor City Brass, and it's the brass section from Bob Seeger's group. So they're going to perform with both Lath and
Oh, you're
Thornetta,
kidding.
and then everybody together. So Friday, I
Oh,
think
that's
it's going to
gonna
be
be a heck of a
something
night.
you want to see.
You got to
for
make sure people understand that. That's probably one of the best packages we've had for Friday night.
It
That
certainly
great.
is, and we're trying
Yeah.
to get more attendance
Yeah.
on Friday. That's always
Yep.
been something that's
Yep.
been a little difficult coming
Yep.
after a work day and so forth.
Well, but you know what's nice now? That's the perfect thing is if people are listening. Here's the deal. You come down, you get back from work, you change into comfortable clothing, you come down, have your dinner there. No muss, no fuss. You get to leave some money with some of our charities, and then you sit there and enjoy the evening, have a drink, and relax, and hear just a night of just incredible music. I mean, it's a perfect way to end a workday. So
It'll be
yeah.
fantastic. And then, every year it's very difficult to try to find a headliner act that pleases everybody. And we went through an exhaustive search.
Oh, I remember.
this year.
Eric, as Eric goes out and searches, he comes back and says, "We can get them, but at this cost." And then we decide, can we afford
Right.
that? Can't we afford it? It's quite a process that lasts
Right.
months at a time.
Right, and it's it all depends on routing and so
Yeah.
forth. So, but we found a group that I think some people may not recognize the name so much, even though I
Yeah.
think it is a pretty mainstream name. But we're bringing in War, and they're a classic rock and funk group from the '70s. They had 14 top 10 hits. And some of their major hits were Lowrider, Cisco
Yes.
Kids, Bill the Wine, Why Can't We Be Friends? And
Yep.
I say they're a fantastic festival, family atmosphere type band, and it's quite a party and a lot of dancing, and just people love them.
Wonderful.
So I'm really looking
We
forward
have to
to
push back the seats a little
to
bit.
that. I think we may
Seriously,
this
'cause it does-
year. And then Sunday evening we have a group, Riot House, which I think is going to make everybody happy. They're also known as 80s Incorporated, and they're a great cover band, everything from 80s, 90s to music of today. So
Very good. And of course, the fireworks are the fireworks. We have not had to
No.
do anything but
What can we
keep
say?
them very vibrant.
Right. American Fireworks will be providing display Saturday and Sunday evening just after 10 o'clock, and they've just been a wonderful vendor to work with, and a beautiful choreographed show to both the traditional
Yep.
and contemporary music soundtrack, which makes it a lot of fun, and looking
Right.
for a great show this year.
Parking on site is going to be $10, but there's something new that you'll get a certificate
Right.
to save on your next trip.
Yeah, last year we did raise the price to $10 a day for parking, which compared to a lot of other regional festivals is still inexpensive. But
Right. A lot are 15, 20, and I know.
right,
Yeah.
but we did get some pushback on that
Sure.
a little. So we want to try to be nice to our residents, of course. So we came up with the idea that if you come in and you pay your $10, that we're going to give you a coupon at that time. For the next day that you come in, it'll be $7. So you
Now-
receive $3
Right.
off. And every time from that point, you'll get another coupon.
Right.
So you
So
only have to pay $10.
You pay $10 once, and then if you come back all 3 days, or you come back twice in the same day, it's $7 then
Correct.
for every time you come back.
Correct.
Now, we still having the decks are going to have a discount up in the business district.
Yes, we're still providing the free shuttle service. First of all,
Right.
with free parking at Dearborn High School.
Right.
And then we do have a shuttle service which will go to the decks, and I think the discounted price is $5.
Right.
Our special event rate for
Yep.
the parking decks.
Yeah.
So, and that'll be all weekend long. beat that.
We've
very
covered a
fair.
lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything that either isn't there that we've had in the past. Or
I think just, for families and so forth, we're certainly going to continue with our Dearborn Rotary Fishing Derby on Saturday.
Yes.
That's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we're getting, quite a bit of main species fish in that pond.
oh yeah,
A
that
lot of-
pond is.
The river has cleaned up so much, and
Yeah.
you've got real nice bass in there now.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
Well, the fishing derby, and of course the kids' play area. I mean, you've got the inflatable rides and stuff, which is always fun, big inflatable rides. And then we always have the children's games and programs, and the children programming is excellent.
Right. We have actually two types of different games. The Dearborn Recreation Playgrounds Division provides games both Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 5 p.m. In the tent right next to the gazebo. And then we have our wacky contests for children and adults from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Both Saturday and Sunday. So everything from the applesauce slurp to the spaghetti slurp to the egg toss, pie eating, every messy thing you can think of.
So the key bit of advice here is if your children are going to engage in those, bring some change of shirts and
Yeah,
stuff.
I would think so.
Probably a good idea.
May get a little messy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Very good.
And then, as you mentioned, they
Yeah.
do offer the free inflatables,
Right.
both on Saturday and Sunday from noon until 8 p.m. And we have a giant obstacle course, giant slide and bouncer, and that's very well received.
Oh,
People
yeah.
really
Right.
appreciate having those.
Well, one other special event that we didn't cover yet is the wonderful Kiwanis Turbo Turtle Derby.
Yes.
And that's a fun event. And you want to talk a little bit about how that's organized?
Sure. I'm not sure what year this is. This is probably our third or fourth year
It's at
that
least four.
that
Yeah.
we've done it.
At least.
Basically, you can purchase rubber turtles, and in past years we've had over 1,000
Yep.
that have been purchased.
Yeah.
And we release them. We dump them over the side of the main
Right.
bridge, and they find their way down towards the pedestrian bridge.
Probably say it's Sunday at 4 o'clock.
Sunday
that
at
this
4
race
o'clock. Yes, you're
happens.
right. Sunday at 4 o'clock. You can, and in purchasing the turtle, we should make it clear, you don't get a turtle. You never physically possess that turtle.
That's right.
You pay for a chance, and then your turtle number is associated with your name on your ticket, and so that's the number that'll decide whether you win or not. But it's a lot of fun. And we have a brochure that's available, and people can pick up at places all around the city. And the brochure has everything in it, the times, what events are going on. It has our presenting sponsor, which is Oakwood Hospital.
That's right.
I want to recognize them. And they'll probably have the cooling tent again.
They'll
generally
have the
done
first
that.
aid,
They will.
the first
First
aid
aid.
tent and the cooling tent,
Right.
and the first aid tent will be located right next to the EMS units this year,
Right.
so that's a
Okay.
good
Very
location.
good.
We should also mention that Kenwall Steel
Steel.
is one of the major fireworks sponsors.
Yep, they're sponsoring fireworks.
Absolutely, and we have-
we have Ford Motor Company, Severstall Steel, LaFontaine, and Henry Ford Health Systems are all principal
They're
sponsors.
all amongst the sponsors this
Yeah.
year, and we owe a lot to these wonderful sponsors.
We sure do.
We sure
Well, one of
do.
our new, I think we should mention, one of our new major sponsors is our beer provider.
Oh, yeah.
And in past years, it was Tri-County.
Right.
As we know, Tri-County was bought by Westside Distributing. And Westside Distributing is our sponsor this year, and not only will you be able to get Labatt products like Labatt and Labatt Light, you'll also be able to get Budweiser products.
Oh, that's going to make
for the first
people
time
really
in
happy.
many, many
Oh,
years.
that's wonderful. And they're still all right. Well, that's going to wrap up this program for today, and we wanted you to know that the brochure is available online at the city's website, so you can get all this information that way if you'd like, because it really is helpful to plan your day or plan your visit. So again, have a good week, and I'm going to see you down at Homecoming.